Hello, everybody. This is the turning of the Ages Mystery School. And today, my name is Naraya, as always, not only today, but I'm here with Daniel Giamario, the founder of our school. And we have a very special little project on for you here today, which is to introduce or maybe reintroduce you to the absolutely amazing Shamanic Astrology Divination card deck that Daniel and some collaborators created many years ago. And we have it back in stock. So it's now available again for purchase on our website. I'll obviously put all the links in the description box below and some other references to where you can maybe see more of what the cards look like, some vlogs that Daniel did that reference these cards. All of that are referenced as well. And without further ado, Daniel, please take it away. And thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure. Good. I've been waiting for a while to be able to share this again, because it was really back in 2014, on the heels of writing my second book, The Origins of the Shamanic Astrology Paradigm, which does have a large section about the cards. I became friends with this remarkable Tubac, Arizona artist, Roy Purcell, and then in collaboration with Gail Gilson, who did a lot of the editing, we created this card deck. Roy was incredible because all he did is that he took he read the handbook, and then he just sourced the deck. And I only had to make about 4 or 5 adjustments to what his ability to capture the whole vision of it was, which was pretty remarkable. And the idea on the card deck was a 64 card deck. You know, there's probably hundreds of different card decks out there now. So we made one that would have 64 cards, and it had, and that those are some examples of them right now. And they, the 64 cards are 24 gods and goddesses, 12 mystery schools of life, which generally people think of as the signs, okay? And then it has also 10 planetary processes of initiation, like could be one for Uranus, Pluto, and so on. And then there's also 12 houses, so therefore we have a card for each house. And then there's 6 wild cards, including things like great comets and lunar standstill and Eris and Sedna. You know, so there's wild cards, and it ends up becoming 64 cards. But the other thing that's really quite unique about this deck, unlike a lot of other decks, there isn't any reversed card or any, quote, negative card. Because built into the initiatory process and built into our understanding of the gods and goddesses and the mystery schools is they each of them on their own have an intention, and then they also are built into them a shadow side if you wanted to go there with it, and that comes up in a reading if you do something with it. So if you want to just get a sample of what it looks like, here's what some of the cards look like. And
Yeah.
there's a fuller investigation of this in some of the resources that we have included as part of this presentation here that I'm doing with Naraya today. Here's just some examples of some of the cards. So there, we actually, it turns out, have if a person is interested in Aries, there's actually 3 Aries cards. There's an Aries card for the goddess, the god, and also for the mystery school. So there's actually 3 of them there for that. We're not going to go through all the cards right now because our intention here is to demonstrate through a reading how you can use them. Now, I do want to mention that with the card deck, it's a little instruction book loaded with interesting information, but including suggestions of what kinds of spreads you can use. And we're going to demonstrate here live one of them. I personally, over the past, since 2014, I love using the card deck in a group where you basically have 22 people in the group, then you put down 22 cards. Each person in the group would choose one, and then there would be the spread that would be for the beginning of the group. And then once again, people will take a card and you have another spread, 22 cards for at the conclusion of the group. And it's really interesting in personal sharing how remarkable it is as far as it does show, what the developmental process is of that individual in the group. So maybe just scroll through a couple more, and then we can go straight to the demonstration reading.
I just want to make a comment on the absolutely beautiful and stunning artwork that this includes as well. It's just so evocative and really brings about the spirit of these archetypes so strongly. Do you want me to go through the relationship axis as well? Because yeah, that's the mystery school, so they are still different from what we've just seen a moment ago. So here's the Gemini mystery school and the Sagittarius mystery school, as they are on the same relationship axis. The Pisces,
that's particularly useful and helpful if the person's inquiry in the use of the cards has to do with things involving relationships.
Oh, absolutely. Pisces and Virgo and Libra, Aries, Cancer, Capricorn, which I had in a reading that I gave yesterday, come up very strongly. So I actually did use the cards in that as well, which was really helpful to the person involved.
Yes, yes.
And Leo and Aquarius.
And these will be also seen again with watching several of the vlogcasts and seminars that we've done that use the cards actually in explaining the relationship mysteries.
Yeah, there is. I want to point that out. There is a whole playlist on our YouTube channel of vlogs that Daniel has done with Elise Hebert about intimacy and relationships. And I think it's a 3-part series by now, Daniel. Is that correct? Yes. And they really go very deeply into the relationship material, also with the use of these cards. Another a wonderful video that I would highly recommend is the recent highlight seminar that Daniel did with Lizzie Moon on men's challenges, where it goes again with the help of the cards as a visual aid, deeply into what are men experiencing. So that particularly shows all the cards for the gods archetypes, that the 12 gods that are in this card deck. So all of that highly recommended. I'll put it in the description box below.
Another interesting way that those of you who happen to be astrologers or counselors practicing doing counseling work using astrology, it can be very good to use these cards to illustrate complexes. Like if an individual has Venus, you put the Venus card down and you show the Pluto initiation or something like that, and it gives an even greater evocative visual sense of what it is. All right, so why don't we, without further ado, let's look at your question.
Woohoo! Okay. So, as one would do with any other reading or any other astrological consultation, we would set the space somehow, which for me is very important. So, I have here with me a beautiful candle and a homemade rosemary smudge stick, and I'll just do a bit of smudging here. Let that beautiful holy smoke rise around myself. Now wrote Daniel on the screen as well and around the camera. Okay, and whilst that keeps doing its thing, We can already start, Daniel. I'll just put that to the side here so the ash is dropping into a container. Okay, wonderful. So the question that I have, many of those within the school who know me know that I have had and still am in a very challenging Neptune cycle. And the question that I have is how to best navigate the tail end of that cycle, which I find is very heavy. I refer to it as last mile syndrome. So, you know, the going gets really, really hard towards the end of it, and the official calendar date end of it is the 25th of February, I believe. So it's just another like 3 months to go, basically.
And so we're going to do the suggested technique, although you're all free if you have a card deck to create your own way of working with them. But the way that we're going to do this is one of the ways that's suggested in our pamphlet is the basic way that you use a 3-card spread. So there'll be 3 cards, and because this is a collaboration, Naraya is going to take the first one, I'll take the second one, and then she'll take the third one. And it represents, in general, past, present, future. Past, present, future. So the first card would be the background to the question, what it's been like recently. The second card would be what's it like right now, and then what is the destination point? What is this leading up to?
This one here, as you saw me shuffling, popped out for me quite substantially. Do you want me to turn it over now, or you pick the next one and then I pick the other one and then we turn them over all together? Oh, you've already got it. Oh, you're so much faster. Oh, and another one. Look at that. It's peeking out of the deck, so I don't have to think twice.
Okay. All right. So the very first one you picked
is the Pisces Mystery School.
Yeah, wouldn't you know that, right? Yeah, for a Neptune card, right? So basically, the interpretation.
It makes me very emotional, sorry. It says empathetic union with God and humanity, healing and compassion for all. Pisces is in service to spirit. Yes, Daniel.
Well, the interpretation I would give to that relative to your question is that one of the navigation strategies for Pisces or Neptune, either one, they both have that resonant polarity, is I don't know. I see infinite lines of probability, and no matter how hard I try, I can't bring it into a clear focus. So the advice there would be, we've talked about this, of course. Just let it stretch out. Don't think you need to have quote clarity, right?
I mean, maybe to just add to that, what I've already experienced in the, let's say, the past month or so, is quite a decisive shift in the energy that I'm feeling. While sometimes the energy is really still heavy of this unclarity, which I'm not used to in general in life. There are also times that are coming through that are very Piscean, very Neptune. So where I really very easily drop into the bliss of this ultimate faith in the beautiful benevolent doings of the universe, and that I am carried and that it knows what it does. So how are we going on with this, Daniel?
Well, what I chose for this collaboration of doing this question is Aries, the goddess.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Aries, the goddess, warrior, Amazon. I am the warrior at the base of your psyche. Well, you've had to be committed to having the strength to carry on.
Yeah, that's absolutely clear. And I have my, that, but not everybody else. I have my Mars in Aries actually. So I have in all this long cycle, I have drawn on that energy a lot in order to protect all the other parts of myself, and in order to take the action that needed to be taken in any given moment, in order to get the work done that I needed to
Well, you have
get
been a
done.
warrior protector for the fact that the school hangs together during these very challenging times, because it's not just your Neptune thing, but the school itself has been in a time frame of uncertainties, you know, and so you've really used your warrior Amazon as a commitment to be able to do that, you know, which is admirable. It certainly is. And
Yeah, and it
and again,
has been
the
a very
warrior
good
Amazon,
decision to do that.
the warrior Amazon can get tired too.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's why I'm saying last mile syndrome, you know, the last few steps of the marathon where I'm thinking, whoa, how am I going to manage this? But there's always an additional energy and uplifting aspect in, you know, taking the time to, like we are in right now, this is ceremony, right? Taking the time to create ceremony with the archetypes, with the planetary bodies, with each other, and therefore replenish one's energy, one's spirit, and all these things. So, shall we go to card number 3? What have I got? The Virgo priestess, the Virgo goddess.
Yeah. Well,
Pretty
that would be
self-explanatory by now, right? High priestess dedicated to the sacred work. Do we need to know anything else?
well, that's also then the resonant polarity to Pisces.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So you're I think that what I hope for you in these last months before the end of your Neptune process is that you're successful in finding a place where it can truly be where you can settle in and it's your sacred space, and that you can actually do the ceremonial work you need to do, but also to do the work that you need to do that's part of your Aries commitment, you know. So and that includes not just the school, but your family, and you know, other things that are on your plate as far as what your sacred work is, you know. So that's very interesting. So that's an example of how you can use these cards,
Thank
and
you.
maybe that will give you all some inspiration. I'll just say a few last words here. Um, so the deck had been not available for a while, but now in our location in Arizona, where Lizzie Moon is handling our bookstore, or our store, that the cards are there, you know, so they're available for purchase now. And we have a lot. And then actually there's a printer nearby, so we can keep printing up more. And I'm just really proud of the deck. I mean, it's just a remarkable creation that came out of the vision of Roy Purcell in collaboration with me, and Gail, her great work on doing the editing for it. So um, I hope you'll have a chance to enjoy this creation. Mm.
Yeah, thank you so much, Daniel, for creating this space and for creating the card deck in the first place, because it's really a total evergreen thing. You know, it will never go. I can't see a time, certainly not in my lifetime, where it will go out of being absolutely pertinent and, you know, on point with all these energies that are depicted there, and the multitude of uses one can use that for. So we certainly will make sure that we make that available even more widely. And yes, thank you very much, Daniel.